and welcome to another episode of 10-Minute Misconduct. I'm your host, Champ, and this is my partner in crime, Saint. Saint, how you doing?
I got so much shit to do.
But we're so close to traveling. All right, well, today we are talking about a controversial topic. How should the NHL be divided?
Talking Hockey came up with this breakdown, which would put each of the 32 teams into 6 different categories.
Mm-hmm.
So, we have to take a look at it and give our opinions because it's our favorite thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And already, I see some issues. So, this one is broken down into the Status and Power Division, the Weather Channel Division, the People Division, the Flight Division, the Murder Zoo Division, and the Ocean Division, which already hilarious names. I'm obsessed. Your team would be in the Flight Division. I don't know why I'm in the Ocean Division. That's actually hysterical.
Because oil spills
I
in the
know,
ocean
but
all
that's
the time.
unfortunate. Like really unfortunate. Also, Flight Division for Penguins, you guys can't fly.
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah, just what the fuck?
So
why are we? Is it just because we're a bird?
I guess so. So in the Status and Power Division, let's go through this. There's the Golden Knights, the Kings, the Caps, the Senators, the Stars, and the Blues. Do you think that's a pretty even division?
So I guess Golden Knights versus Kings isn't that different.
Mm-hmm.
It does seem, I don't want to say, it seems like it would be one kind of like how the Pacific is now, where it's the top is top dog,
Yeah.
and then the bottom is dog shit. Just no, it doesn't seem like it would be a typically competitive. You would probably, if we're going by right fucking now, it would be like Stars and Knights are going for
The
1
top,
and 2.
yeah.
And then
maybe Kings
and Caps, maybe fighting over 3 in the wild card.
Yeah,
or whatever.
and then Sens and Blues doing their thing down at
Yeah,
the bottom of the league.
The Blues had an upswing, and then they're back to a very bad downswing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't really know, but it wouldn't be terrible because then they would face each other, like the Knights and the Kings, and then you know what I mean? We wouldn't have to deal with them in round 1.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and it is funny because this the way this is divided, you don't have the breakup between East and West. So imagine playing the Golden Knights playing the Caps in their division and having to fly across the country to play in their division.
I guess I didn't really consider that part of how I'm just thinking the playing, not that they'd have to fly so far. The Sens are so far north.
Yeah, and another thing is they played in their division several times a year, because what is it, the Penguins and the Flyers play 3 times, so it would be a long East Coast trip for these West Coast teams all of the time, which is hysterical to me. I think that's actually really funny. So next we have the Weather Channel Division, which is
my favorite. Right now.
Yeah, the Hurricanes, the Lightning, the Avalanche, the Wild, the Flames, and the Leafs. I don't know why the Leafs are on the Weather Channel Division. Again, that's very funny.
Windy?
Yeah, it fucking windy.
Fucking windy.
It fucking windy. All right, yeah. So we have the Hurricanes, the Lightning, 2 of the top teams. The Avalanche. This is actually a really, really deep division.
Yeah, honestly, if again we're just going by
what is right now
this year. Yeah, right now. Your only real problems are the 2 Canadian teams, the Flames and the Leafs. But Canes, Lightning, Avs, Wild, that's pretty fucking
that's a brutal division. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
that's the Central Division right now.
Yeah, where it's just a few on the bottom, and then I definitely think Wild are not as strong as Avs, Lightning, Hurricanes.
Right, I agree.
But they're not to be discounted. They've got that they got that dog in them a little bit, where they're not to be underestimated.
Yeah. I do think that I think it's really funny that they did include both the Wild and the Leafs. I get the Leafs, it's fucking windy. The Wild, you're going to have to make an argument.
Yeah, the Wild, I wonder if it's just
they needed somewhere to go.
Why not? I'm just thinking the murders. I guess it's because there's too many animal ones, and if they couldn't kick anyone out of the Murder Zoo division,
it had to be
it would have to be the Wild because it's generic enough. Yeah. They could have, I feel like there could have been something that they had done differently, but I appreciate the overall Weather Channel division bit.
Yeah, I agree.
Much to complain about it.
Yeah. All right, next we have the People division, which we have the Chicago team, Canadians, Blue Jackets, Rangers, and Devils. Again.
Devils aren't...
Three of these teams, this is the weakest division.
So, well, I just was stuck on the fact that the New Jersey Devils are based off of the cryptid of the Jersey Devil from the Pine Woods, or the Pine Barrens or whatever it is. And then even if you go by their mascot, the New Jersey Devils, it's still a devil, but I guess it's humanoid enough. The Rangers also, like, I don't know. I don't know. It's pretty bad. This is one of those divisions where nobody wants to watch the first round.
Oh,
like you know how like we try to watch a lot of playoff hockey, right? But in the first round, it's really hard because there's so many games going on. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they are at the same time or back to back or whatever. You're like, I gotta have to pick one. This would be the division that I don't give a shit about.
Right, absolutely.
Like, the only thing I would care about is who's the worst. I hope they win so that my division can beat their ass.
Like, yeah, exactly.
It gets to that point. Yeah.
All right, next we have the Flight division, which is the Flyers, the Jets, the Red Wings, the Ducks, and the Penguins. Again with the Penguins, but we'll keep it here because they're a bird.
Yeah, I get that they're like a bird.
This one is the most cohesive. This one is the most cohesive.
Yeah, I do like, because I guess if you argue like Flight division, they're not necessarily saying that they all fly. They're just saying that it's flight, like possible. I don't know. Like
you could have made the wings division.
Yeah, but I guess they're gonna say, like, they would argue maybe like Jets and Flyers don't really count. But I feel like that's the same as the Penguins being in the Flight division.
Yeah.
You know, so I do like this one in that I think it's funny that the Flyers and the Pens would still be rivals, which I did appreciate for the People's division, that like the Rags and the Devils would still be in the same division to beat the shit out of each other all the time. So that is really fun. As a Pens fan, having the Ducks be in my division does make me want to murder people.
Right. Especially now.
However, if again, going by current rankings, the Pens would be top of the division. So.
No, I think Red Wings. Red Wings are top.
Are they?
They're up there, but it's not far. It's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I guess if you argue, I wonder what it would be based on. Our current, because you know how it's win loses, but like then compare the points. I don't know.
Let's take a look.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Red Wings have 76 points. Pittsburgh has 75.
Oh, so we'd be
right neck and neck. Yeah.
That would be.
So you'd basically be paying back and forth.
Yeah, which is kind of not what's happening now because the Canes, we won't be able to catch up to them.
Yeah,
but I kind of like that it would be a little bit of a tighter division overall, because like I don't necessarily think the Flyers maybe, but like, you know, the Jets made playoffs last year. Like the Ducks would be pretty fierce. I actually think that a Ducks versus Flyers rivalry in the same division would go fucking hard. It'll always be battle of PA being like supreme.
Yeah.
But with how the Ducks play and then like Broad Street Bullies for the Flyers, like, I think that would be pretty fun to watch.
If you notice, the Ducks really are the only one that is a West Coast team.
Yeah.
You could argue that Winnipeg is central, but, like, the Ducks would have the hardest schedules.
Yeah, they would. They'd have to fly so far. And if they're in the division, they have to play more.
Yep.
Like, yes, they have to travel more, but honestly, they would do their the schedules would probably do is they'd probably do what they do now, where we have the same teams back to back to back. Because there's like a time, like the Pens are playing the Panthers at home twice. Games in a row.
Yep. They just have to.
What was it last year? We played the Flyers 3 times in February, was it?
Yes. It was
like
disgusting.
All of the battle. It was so stupid. That's what would happen. It would be like the Ducks come out and they play 3 games against the Pens, and then they play 3 games against the Flyers, and then they travel to
Red Wings.
Like then they'd maybe go. Well, I would say maybe then they'd go home, and then they'd fly out and do 3 to the Jets, and then they'd fly out and do 3 to the Red Wings.
Yeah,
like that to me would be the schedule probably, or something akin to that.
Not a good schedule for them. Not a good division. All right,
next to watch.
Yeah. Next, we have the Murder Zoo division, which includes the Panthers, the Mammoth, the Predators, the Sabres, and the Bruins. Again, this one is very cohesive.
This is very cohesive. Probably, I think I don't want to say it's the most cohesive, but like it definitely ranks really high for the fact that there's nobody who's
dominant.
Currently. Yeah, currently. And also just like there's no team that doesn't fit the vibe. Like there's nobody that I'm like, they don't really match. Like the Sabres, I guess the Sabres are not the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
Like they're the
Sabres. Yeah.
The Sabres were like, they explicitly didn't want them to be based on
the Buffalo.
Like, the Buffalo, which doesn't even really live it's bison here.
Yeah.
But like they could have gone for like the Buffalo Bison, but actually I think that's their football or like soccer team.
Yeah.
But so like their mascot in Alliance, but technically by their name, the Sabres are not a murder zoo.
That's interesting. I don't think that clicked in my head.
Yeah, because like that was the whole point of the Sabres.
They murder. You've got murder.
They do. I think that the murder part, they're the murderers in the zoo. Yeah, there's just one dude with a sword.
Yeah.
2 swords maybe, trying to fight all these animals.
The zookeeper.
The zookeeper.
That's why they keep...
That's so funny. That's why they have 2 swords.
I was going to say that's why they haven't gone to playoffs in so many years.
No, they have 2 swords. They're trying to fight off all these animals. They've got a bear, a mammoth, a saber-toothed tiger, and a panther.
Yeah.
I do like this. I do think it's not super balanced.
No.
The Panthers are having an off year because of all their injuries. But with the Sabres finally like going fucking hard.
Yeah.
And the Mammoth are doing
they're 4th in their division.
Yeah. But they were doing like decently well. Like I wonder how they would be faring if they're playing more of these teams. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my thing with the Flight division is like, would the Pens be higher than the Red Wings because they're facing teams that they can beat more,
right?
In the same division because they'd have more games against them. So that's kind of how I feel about the Murder Zoo. Is like, would the Panthers be doing better because they're playing against teams that they can beat, or
the Preds? Yeah,
and
I just think that
or any of
this is also like the not rebuild, but like their off-season division. Like right now it's they're not on the right pace for their current push because the Bruins are still recovering. The Predators they're hit or miss. The Sabres are having an incredible year. The Mammoth are still getting their footing in Utah, and then the Panthers again are just injured. So like it's the out of step year division, whatever. I don't know, but these are all the teams that are like, okay, we will be good probably eventually.
Yeah, I think it's one of those that it's like it could swing either way, but it would be like, but it's funny. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's
like it'll
funny,
be,
so therefore.
But it's funny. And it would be interesting based on what happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like each year it will be more, it'll obviously be different between the seasons.
Right.
Yeah,
and then finally we have the Ocean Division, which is the Kraken, the Sharks, the Canucks, the Islanders, and the Oilers. I mean, 3 of those are really, really solid. I guess the Islander you could say is the seafarer, which is true. And then the Oilers, I mean, again, you get a lot of oil off seas. Again, I think it's very funny that the poor Islanders have to come all the way across just to play their number 1 team.
Because, this is really almost all just
West Coast.
Pacific.
Yep.
Yeah. Like, are they the only ones not in... Because they're all...
That's just the Pacific.
It's just the Pacific with the Islanders. Like... the Islanders would be doing exactly what the Ducks would have to do from the Flight division, where they'd have to go... They just go, all right, we're gonna hang out with the Sharks. And honestly, it would also suck because it would be like the Sharks are not in the northern part of California.
Yeah.
And so like you can't even be like, oh well, it's like, well, the Kraken and Canucks are really close, and then the Oilers are like what, a couple hour flight away anyways. Like there's really no good tour there. They'd probably play the Kraken and the Canucks and then do a separate ones for the Sharks and separate for the Oilers.
Yep. Not great. A lot of blue. Lot of blue. I like this division a lot.
I think it's a fun division. I think it's funny to keep the Oilers. The only thing is the Flames and Oilers being out of division, but then that would, I guess, make Battle of Alberta even better when it does intense, happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'd still get the Oilers and Canucks rivalry, Kraken rivalry as well. I mean, and the Sharks are up and coming. Like, I don't know. I think this division would suit me quite nicely, mostly because I would hope that we would dominate it, but I don't know with our current play style.
Well, the Islanders are doing really. They're
also they're also kicking butt too. What are they at in the standings? They are.
I don't want to talk about
it. They are tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins. Cool.
I don't want to be them in the playoffs round 1. First round exit.
Yeah, it's okay, buddy.
Did you see the comment? Someone said, I propose that the Penguins be moved to the Ocean Division, the Oilers be moved to the People Division, the Rangers be moved to the Status and Power Division, and then the Stars moved to the Flight Division.
Okay, I can see the Penguins. I can see the Penguins.
See the Penguins into Ocean Division. Yep.
I can see the Oilers, but I think I would put the Islanders there first. You know what I mean? Because, like, this is interesting. I guess Oilers is more directed towards the oil riggers because, like, that's what oil country is.
Like the Oilers are.
It's not
to me,
oil. Like, it's not actually oil.
Yeah, it's more about like.
The Rangers being moved to the Status and Power Division. I mean, maybe because they're technically, what is it that they're like? Not Texas Rangers, but like not police either. What am I trying to say? Like they are like a power,
like a Lord of the Rings.
I guess.
You've watched. I guess. I get. Well, I know we were just talking about it was in my head, but yeah, I guess like to me they were more like Army Rangers.
Army Rangers. That's what I was looking for. I was like, they're definitely there, but I don't know.
Status and Power, I guess, would be more like military versus the Stars, which I think, because that I think does solve a lot of the weird problems. Because I think you could, like, moving the Stars to the Flight.
That one's funny.
Like I like that one. Stars. Someone also suggested Penguins should be in Murder Zoo because the Sabres don't really fit any of these. I guess honestly, People Division should probably be swapped to like Military Division, and then you could put like Sens,
Sabres,
Blue Jackets, Sabres, or like Weaponry Division or something, or like because then like you could move the Sens over and the Knights. I mean, I guess that's why they did like the Kings, the Golden Knights, and the Sens all together.
I do think it's very, very funny that everybody in this comment section is like most upset about the Penguins and the Oilers. Like very fitting.
Because it's so, which is again very funny considering that no one is noticing the Wild being in the Weather Channel division.
Yeah.
Like why is no one
I mean, yes, the Wild. Yeah, I don't know. I think it is very, very interesting. I do think that it's funny people bring like poor Calgary, that Weather Channel division is stacked. I mean, what is it? So the Hurricanes currently have let's go through the Canes. So the Canes have 82 points, the Avs have 87, the Stars have 81, the Wild have 80. And then you go down to the Calgary Flames, which have 55. They'd be out already. Like, they'd be done.
Dude, it's only adjacent topic, but looking at, if you look at where everyone would be, when you look at the league standings and how
it's bad,
crazy the point differential is between like the supposed first place teams in the West versus the mostly the Central, but like bro,
it's bad.
Like,
it's crazy. Yeah,
like I know the East is not necessarily better per se, but like the West has a lot worse teams. I think. I
mean, the Oilers are middle of the pack, which is
crazy. Like,
save me.
But you know what I mean? Like,
me. Oh, brother. Well, any changes that you guys would make? I'm really curious to see, like, if you had to make one or two changes, what you would put certain things in.
Yeah, I want to know, like,
because I think my biggest one would probably be the Penguins to the Flight, or out of the Flight division.
You want Penguins on the Flight? Here's my problem. I like them in that division. I think you just have to rename it the Wing division.
Okay.
Because then Jets, Silver Wings or whatever like that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like all of that.
Flight is the big factor there for you.
Yeah. Everyone's getting hung up on Flight. I think if you renamed it the Wing division, it would be fine. Nobody would really have any issue.
Consider this, all right? We had the Coyotes, which it worked for Coyotes to Mammoth because that was Murder Zoo. But like, think about the North Stars to the Dallas Stars or the Thrashers to the Flames. What do you do when a team gets sold and named differently?
Actually, the Thrashers are was it based on like a bird or was it based on, because then
like a falcon maybe?
Then it's really still kind of in with the weather, because then maybe you switch it, because their logo was kind of like a tornado looking thing, but the Thrasher bird, so like maybe they go from weather division to flight division.
Yeah.
And then you move the Pens, but
somewhere.
Where are you going to put it in the weather division? Like, I love the concept of the weather division. Yeah. I truly do. It's just that we don't. It just, I feel like Oilers, you could maybe, I don't know.
Yep. All right. Well, what do you guys think? That's really the question is would you name them something differently? Would you put different teams in different places? I'm really curious. So, well, that's really it. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. Folks, we really appreciate you listening through all of our rants and ramblings.
Make sure you're following us over on Twitch. And if you want to support us with a Twitch Prime on either or both of our channels, you get access to cute emotes and extra channel points. If you enjoy this episode, consider dropping a like and subscribing so you never miss an episode.
And lastly, don't forget to check out Saint's Etsy, linked in the description below. We love you all and hope the hockey season is treating you well.
Stay witchy.